Alright, we should be live and in color with sound. Alrighty, yep, there I am. Alright, so today we're just going to be messing around with you know when you buy those boxes of the cheaper Dungeons and Dragons and the Pathfinder creatures and stuff like that. I decided that you know, you can always spruce those up because some of them look really bland. It's not that they're bad or anything like that. Some of them you look at, they're very, very good. But then there are others that are just kind of, and you scratch your head a little bit and you wonder, can I fix these? Can I make these a little bit better? Because a lot of times if you're watching a YouTube channel and there's a group of people playing role-playing games, you look at all these wonderful, you know, the dungeon and everything, and all these wonderful figures all painted up. Well, guess what? You can do it too, and it's pretty easy just to fix things. It's a lot of washes and just darkening and bringing things back to life a little bit. So we're going to take a look, and I'm going to show you a couple things. This is a series that will go on for a bit as I get more and more figures, and we start repairing more and more. We'll do more so, and then we'll also take in the comments some requests that you might want to see repaired. Now we'll say hi to everybody. Sean, how are you? Game Line, Helen, and yeah, Sean again. So there you go. That's everybody that's here, which is fine. Let's get. I figure I start a little early. I want to kind of get this done because at 6 o'clock over on BGG TV, you're going to be taking a look at the new Judge Dredd Helter Skelter Wildlands game. We're going to be painting the judge and his crew, and then I'm going to just show you some of the figures and everything that of a very, very good game, and that's for sure. Hello, Vincent and Scott. I can't forget there. All right, so without further ado, we'll go down here. No. We'll go over there. Of course, the dogs start barking the minute I decide to start painting. Okay, is this one here? Okay, great. So, where do we start? Well, let's just take a look at some of these figures and see some of these things. These are not great, okay? I mean, they're not bad. Now, this is, I believe, a Pathfinder orc. But, you know, we also have some D&D as you can see, that's kind of bland if you ask me, and there's just certain things that we can do. So why don't we start doing them instead of talking about it? The first thing I would want to do, especially right over here with this guy. Now I have some other orcs, but I wanted you guys to see, and maybe I should just leave this guy alone. And I'm going to show you a comparison of before and after type of thing. Right now I'm just looking for a brush. Okay, there we go. You know, I go through that struggle looking through a brush. We're going to take some Newell oil right off the bat, okay? Okay, I was just looking at something. Sean, what's up? So, we have some Newell oil here. Let me just move this over a little bit. YouTube's been acting like extremely weird. Alright, so we're going to take some Newell oil right here, and all I want to do is I just want to get a little bit on my brush here, like so. Not too much, not too much. Now look at this guy's armor. Okay, do you see how that just kind of sits there? But by taking this new oil and working it in there very lightly, all right, and we can actually take a smaller brush. Actually, let me clean that one off a little bit. I'm just going to use this brush here. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And all I'm going to do is just kind of work that in there a bit. I really want to kind of bring the metallics out here. And I really want to dull them up, to be honest with you. I mean, look at this. Alright, why is that brown hilt? Okay, whatever. That's the way they decided to paint it. You can see they missed a spot here when they were painting, but we'll fix that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Of course, my dogs are absolutely thrilled. Mom's not home, so they lose their thing. Over the chest plate here, yeah, we can go over this a little bit because we're gonna bring this all back a certain way. And that's the way we're going to do that. And you can see there is some detail that we can pull out of this. Alright, so by just taking this and really kind of just working it throughout here. Now I want to be careful, I don't want to hit his face or anything like that. That will save. We'll come over to his gloves a little bit. And we're going to put this aside and let it dry for a bit when we're done here. I mean, look at this. This is shoddy at best. You know what? Why don't we just go for it, right? Because we can really bring this out a little bit by just doing something like that. These are pre-painted, I believe. Yes, they are. They are pre-painted. These are the pre-painted ones from that you get out of the box. So there you go. And there's a question. When dry brushing, I seem to have too much paint or too little when wiping the excess off. How can I see when there's just enough? Well, we've gone over this quite a bit. If you just take the bottom of the base and use the bottom of the base, you'll kind of know. When you brush over it a few times and you see that it kind of just hangs there a little bit, then you know you're dialed in. All right. Now that really darkens that up, but we're going to come back with that. I have been painting since 1980. Okay, so Scott says, why such bright green? Ochre is more tone. Okay. Scott, these are pre-painted. These are things that you get out of a box. And that is why they are the way they are. They're just, you pay a certain amount, and there are rare ones, and there are other ones. So when you get these, you kind of have a good start. All the base coats are on, and then you can just either leave them the way they are, or, you know, do what we're going to do. Mess with them a little bit. All right, so we've got this guy, and we're going to put him aside. All right. There we go. All right, so there we go. This is for beginners. So, you know, if you're an expert painter, you're just not going to, this isn't going to be anything for you. All right. And that's the God's honest truth. You're not going to get much out of this. Now, this guy here, okay, this angel here, this is a perfect example of what you can do with just a little bit of wash. And that's the way we're going to do that. So we're going to take this, and you can see that there's a lot of detail that you could do. All right. Alan, keep telling everybody that these are the pre-painted figures that you get out of you know, from WizKids. There we go. And that all we're doing is just kind of doing our own thing with them. So all I want to do here is just really just kind of get this in here. And I want to bring, because there is detail there that you can pull out of these things. It's just, how do you want to go about doing it? And that's the way I see it. You know, when I get a guy like this who just sits on this thing. Thank you, Gameline. To buy back the good graces and erase my shame. Why should you erase any kind of shame? There's no shame in anything, my friends. Nobody has to buy anything here. I am in a zone of my own when it comes to this channel. Helen and I talk about it quite a bit. About how I just don't worry about things anymore. Just that little bit there. There we go. Well, thank you, Scott. I was going to read that. I'm really trying to keep this within an hour, so I'm sorry. I will take a few minutes, and you guys can hammer me with a few things. And all I want to do is just really just bring some things out and just keep it simple for people. I want people to pick up brushes, and that's all I'm trying to accomplish here. This is Rookie 101. Now, I've been painting most of my life, and I'm not very good. I get bored watching other people paint, to be honest with you. I think the only people that I really enjoy watching there is a guy called Blackjack Legacy. He's over in Britain, and he's just a nice guy, and I really enjoy listening to him when he goes on his rants and stuff like that. And there's another guy that thinks he's average, but he's not, and that's the king of average. Great kid. See, I knew that was going to happen. Okay, we're just going to take this off like that. I should have just glued that guy to the base, but I glued the base instead of the guy. So now, again, all I want to do is just come over this, and bada bing. And what I'm doing is, number one, I'm darkening up this miniature, of course, yes. So we can work out and we can highlight and pull out some of the because when you look at these guys and you get them out of the box, and the first thing you're looking at is well, they're half done. If you're a painter. Now, if you're somebody that is going to pick this up for the first time, you're going to say, hey, these guys are painted and these guys are cool. But, I've been painting for a bit, and I just felt there was something that I can show people that if they really wanted to put their own spin on it, you could. You really could. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do, where is it? All right, I'm going to put that down there. He looks like a rare now. Epic Angel. Thanks. That's pretty funny. I'm just going to put a little glue here so he doesn't move, because I want to do a few other things to this guy. But we're going to let those wings dry a little bit, and then we're going to come back and we're going to work on his skin and some of the other things. While we got the new oil out, there we go. You will not be moving anymore, my friend. All right, see, that's already aggravating me because I missed that spot right there. It's because he was moving around. Gotta be careful, don't get glue on that brush, or that will be a sticky situation. Alright, so we're just going to push him off to the side for a little bit. While we have the new oil out, we also have this stone golem. I mean, look at this guy. He's really not bad. There's a lot of things there that we could do. There's a lot of things that we can do, and one of the easiest things to do is just that's all you got to do, is sometimes just if you can just start the detail, and then you can find out what you want to add going forward. Sometimes that's all they need, is a little wash, and it's nothing too complicated. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just something that just kind of helps push it up forward. How did you prep these? Did you wash them first? Helen, let whoever asked, and just keep hitting, and if you could just keep typing. These are the pre-painted miniatures that you can buy from WizKids. That's all they are. They're the pre-painted Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons. They come in different sets. You could probably get them for a few bucks. If you look on Miniature Market, you'll see a whole bunch of them. If you just go to D&D Miniatures, and you'll see you could either buy the boosters or you could buy the individual figures. So I started getting a whole bunch of these figures because we're going to be doing some D&D stuff, and I just wanted to kind of bring them to life a little bit, I mean, look at that. Just a little bit of wash. It doesn't take much. It does not take much. Now, this is a stone golem. Well, I don't feel he's stony enough, so we're going to let him dry for a bit. How many minutes are we in? How can we be in 17? Oh, we're on 4:06. Okay. I got everything timed here because I've got to be on at Board Game Geek at 6 o'clock, and I have to put steaks on the grill before the Queen gets home. See, this is real life, folks. This is not one of those channels that makes a lot of money. We still gotta live the real life. But we do have an auction you guys should check out. I had a whole bunch of painted stuff that is being given away, as always. We paint it and then we give it away for charity. That's what we do. All right, pretty nice right there. We got him nice and dark, so we're going to push him aside as well. We're going to come back to our angel now that that base is a little dry. And all I want to do, so I want to make sure, because if you have just a little bit of white there, you know what's going to happen. It's going to shine right through, and we don't want that. And we want to make sure that we got these wings. And I'll show you how we'll brighten these wings up a little bit. I haven't thought about it yet, but we will be discussing it going forward. All right, there we go. Boom. Oh, there's that little bit of back end there. Bunk, gunk, 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 gunk. There we go. All right, I feel a little bit better with him over there. We have what we have here, a warg. Now, this isn't bad. Okay, this is not bad at all. All right. Adds definition and contrast, and it's one of the things that I always talk about is taking a wash, and what it does is it helps build depth, and that's all we're trying to do is build some depth here. So, you know, just doing what we do. All right, and just taking this and going over a little bit, you're going to see what we're going to do with this guy. I probably don't even have to do this with him, but I really do want to darken him up a little bit. I just think there's detail that I can pull out, and I want to be careful because I don't mind the way they have painted the mouth and stuff like that. And then we're going to spin him around. We also have different angles. Let's see if some of these different angles work. We've got that one too far away. We've got me from above, which is fine. So far I think this one angle, top down, there I am, nobody cares. All right, there we go. Why don't we just stick with this one? This seems to be working today, so we're just going to stick with this. We have 4 different camera angles. Sean Connor asked a question. What did he ask? Hello, if I wanted Rob to look at my Kickstarter and promote it, how would I go about this? Well, Helen just answered the question. Definitely just email me, and if it's something I'm interested in, I'll do it. I do not charge. I'm one of the few people that do not charge. And I don't know, I just like to help people out. I really do. I know that sounds kind of, listen, I don't care how people do things. It's none of my business. All right, me, I do all right in real life. I do have my moments though. I don't mind bleeding as long as I don't bleed out. All right, see how we darken that up. Now I'm going to show you how we lighten that up. Let's do that. Blood effects. I've never been a fan, Keith, of blood effects, and I'll tell you why. Look at this guy. This is a guy that he doesn't need a lot, but he sure can. Again, we're just coming with these wings and just taking this and really just start trying to pull some detail out of here. I've never been one for blood because I think it takes away from what you're painting. Because what's the first thing they look at? Oh, wow, look at all the blood on that zombie. Now, we're going to be painting a lot of zombies in the next week or so. Actually, I believe next Wednesday I'm going to have a show about how to paint zombies quickly and efficiently and get the most out of them. Because I am actually painting them as a project. I think it'll be good content, and I think it'll be something that you guys will really enjoy. So we're going to be doing that next week. See how that brings out, and then all we have to do is just kind of go over it a bit, and then you'll see what I'm getting at. You'll see what I'm getting at eventually. This is going to be a multi-part thing, and it's just something that we're going to do once a month to just kind of, so you guys can just get some different techniques off these little box sets that you can buy. I think it's like $10 a box set, and you get a bunch of miniatures in there. And sometimes those are the best ones to get because, number one, they're already based for you. They have base coats on them, and then some of them you may like, some of them you can experiment on, and and try different things. And that's where these come in. And you can get a ton of these at Miniature Market. They have so many. Of course I'm going to say that. Has anybody checked out the miniature sale at Miniature Market? There were a lot of cool things. I tried to get a hold of some of that Cruel Sea stuff because I really wanted to do that. And I also picked up a whole bunch of War Machine that I got at a really good price. So I was quite happy with that. So that's something I wanted to bolster up some of my War Machine stuff. We all have our moments. We sure do. We sure do. We all have moments. We all have moments. We all have moments where we just sit here and paint for the afternoon. All right. When you see how we pulled out a lot of detail out of that, it's a lot different than what we originally had. There we go. I mean, that's all you need to do sometimes. All right. So, let's see. Who else do we have here that we want to mess with? I'm going to leave this guy because I want you guys to see what I did with this guy here. I'm going to clean this off a little bit. Actually, hold on there. Oh, no. I'm going to go to another wash. Now, this was a Newell oil. Okay, so we used that. Now, I also used that, and I really went heavy over a couple of guys like this. So I want to show you where these guys are. So you see how I darkened these guys up? There's a reason for that, folks. There is a reason for that. These guys were very bland. Okay, and they were just way too greeny. And I just wanted to, what I wanted to do was bring some of this out. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to bring some of this out in a bit. I'm just going to let this sit for a little bit longer. But you can see the difference, okay? There's just no detail here. Now these are dulled down. We're going to build them outwards. So I will show you how that works. Now also I took some right here. This is a cobalt. Hold on, I gotta put down my visor because it's so bad. Yeah, these are cobalts. You can see how bright they are. Okay. Now over here I put a little bit of this crimson Carisberg on here. I wanted to do that to darken it up a bit because I just didn't like what I was seeing over here. And that's kind of hard to see with the camera a little bit. But we're going to come back and we're going to do a little Agrath Earthshade here. And for this, we have this bugbear. I mean, look how, I don't know. It's kind of just, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know. I bought some bolt-action U.S. Marines and a Japanese 30 cal waiting on the drop for the U.S. Oh, nice. Good call. Tim, how are you? Good to see you. All right, so now all I want to do is just take a little bit of Agrath Earthshade and put that off to the side. Agrath Earthshade is just a fantastic paint because it does a couple things. It really, first of all, if there's detail here, it's going to pull it out. Now you see how all of a sudden we started pulling that out there? And I'm just going to go over him completely. I'm not worried about the armor or anything like that. But I'm just trying to see if there's any detail that I can pull out of this bugbear. Alright? And in the front here, there is. Alright? And we can come up here, come up into the face region, and just really try to pull out and darken this up a little bit because we can get it there. We can pull some detail. It doesn't matter if I go over this metallic because all it's going to do is just dull it down so I can just really kind of make it shine a little bit later. I don't think we're going to squeeze all this into one thing. Next week we'll come back and I'll have some more and we'll be able to do this even more. So this is kind of, I'll have Helen rename this to part 1. What are we, 417? All right, we're not doing too bad. But you can see I start to pull a little bit of detail out there. Hey, Gab. Here she comes. What are you doing? Get out of there, you baboon. And what do we got here? We got this. This is another thing that we wanna really kind of pull that out. Don't forget Pokey. Now that I've got Gumby theme song in my head. Gumby was just a little green ball of clay. Gumby. Mm-hmm. See? I remember that one. And we're just going to go, and we're going to work over. Now, I did a couple of them differently. I want to see if there's any detail here that I can pull out of these little guys here. I can get something out of them. I can get something out of these guys. There we go. Just brighten that up a little bit. We can work on the shield. There's things that we can just do to just kind of bring a little detail out. There we go. Darken them up, bring them back out. All right. Let's see here. Oh, well, we got our little friend here. All right. Whoa. Come on back here, son. I want to be careful with this. I want to try to... He's just so damn pale. Try to get a little flesh wash in there. There we go. And then maybe we can just fix what's going on with this guy. There we go. Over the boots. Boom. Alright, you go over there and dry. Over here. This... I can add a little here, a little there. There's not really a lot of detail on this particular figure. And you're going to run into that. And that's one of the things that this could be some of the challenges you may face. Is that sometimes there's just not a lot there. Man, we were Gumbying it up, huh? Alright, let me wipe that off. The next thing I want to grab is another wash here. And I'm doing all the washes first, and then, I'm trying to let some of them dry. I'm trying to time everything out pretty well so we can show how our washes work, and then we go right into our dry brushes, and you're going to get some really nice effects here. And that's exactly like this is just absolutely boring. And how can we kind of dig some of this out here? Well, it's easy. Just add a little camo shade there. Also, we got some of that nice depth in there. We'll let that just dry there. And that's what it really comes down to, is being able to, and you don't want to hit those boots because brown and the green don't really work that well together. But we do want to kind of try to get what we can here and try to let it sit in the recesses. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. Boom, boom, boom. Into the recesses and moving around a little bit. It's okay if it pulls in our hood a little bit. It's going to give us a little look. Just a little depth goes a long way. Alright, let's put that over there and let that dry. We have a knoll. Yes, I'm right. Yeah, this guy needs a little help. Actually, he needs a lot of help. So, we're going to come over. We'll see if we can fix him up a little bit. Not all these, some of them are just, you're not going to be able to do anything with. And that's alright. You take them for what they're worth. Yeah, you see, I just think when you have fur like this, and you do not get that wash in there, it's kind of a shame, because they're not horrible figures. Okay, they're not GW. Okay, but they are some nice figures that you can do some things with. And it's just trying to pull out some detail here. That's all you're trying to do. Alright, that's all we're trying to do. Just bring some life to things, All right. There we go. Let's come up top for a second. All right. We'll let things dry for a second. Oh, no. You know who we forgot to do? The guy that we really want to pull detail out is that angel. All right. Let's go back down. Let's go back down. I almost forgot about him. See, he's easy to forget about. Once, now this is a guy that this camo shade, this Athonian camo shade is just made for. Because look at this. He's got, and we want to be careful of the gold here. And I'm just going to kind of go over and work it through his face here. Not worried about the white eyes that they had for him, but just by moving this around, and I can, there we go, see, I can pull those eyes right out. It's just having control over your brush and doing, you can see the difference. I mean, do you see how now all of a sudden he has form? And we're going to come back here. We're going to work. You want to pull out the detail. It's there. Why not? Why not use it? Why not use it? All right. You want to be careful because you really don't want to get a lot of this green, but you want to kind of let it sit in the back there. You want to pull out that detail in the shoulders. He's got some really nice things going on there on his legs. There we go. You want to get the other leg here. You really don't want to get this on the gold because it's just not going to work. But you remember what you saw, when you first saw this guy. Look, he does have some great structure on his build there. You want to highlight that. You want to bring it out. You really want to bring that out and sell that. And it just works. Move it around, make sure you got it where you want it. And you can always pull it off. If you got too much, you just take your brush, you dry it off over here on a towel, and then you come back over here and you could pull whatever you have extra. All right, there we go. All right. I'm happy with that. So we're going to put that over here. Boof. All right, now we're going to come up top. See, we almost forgot that guy. All right, so now, as you saw, we really kind of darkened everything up. And I do this all the time, and it almost sounds like I'm beating a drum half to death. Not the queen. Time out. It's the queen. She has sent a text, and it has an attachment on it. Uh-oh. She sent me a report on my car. And it says, my left front has 31 psi, my right rear has 32 psi, and then my left rear and my right front have 35 psi. So that's all she did. She got some kind of report on my car. That's awesome. Like I care. As long as I don't have a flat tire, who cares, right? Okay. So I always got to watch out because, especially with the grandbaby, it's always panic city around here. Grandbaby and mama with CF. So I hear that thing buzz. I always keep an eye on my family, and then my daughter's a paramedic on top of it. So you never know what she's getting into. So there are just times that you got to take life what it is. All right, so let's get back to what we were doing here. Now, you want to start building outwards, okay? But you want to be very calculated in what you do. The one thing that I always like to do is sometimes I like to use dry. We have some like a dry rack. Hold on. And then I have a Necron compound, which is perfect. These are 2 dry paints, and we're going to take a look at those in a moment. Christopher, how are you? And Tom and Dave And who else did I miss? Nobody else. Cool. So we want to start building out, but we want to start hitting certain things and doing certain things. A nice light brown sometimes works. Let's see what we got here in the drawer. Oh, leather brown. Got a little bit of leather brown here, so we're going to pull over our thing. And this is a army painter. You always want to have a little army painter. Keith, CBS, hi to you. Oh, get it, Christopher Brett Sherman. Got it. I thought you might like Dungeons and Lasers for your upcoming D&D games next year. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. That's for sure. But I've made my own dungeon, believe it or not, and I did some casting. That's something that's going to be down the road. I'm going to show you how to make your own dungeon. You just get some pieces, and then you build your own molds, and then you pour your own resin dungeons. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, stay tuned, folks. It'll be coming sometime in the end of October, beginning of November. It's the way I kind of plan things out. All right, so without further ado, let's go back down, and there we go. So like I was saying, a Necron dry compound is really, really good. And then for certain white things like skulls and stuff like that, I don't mind using some of this. So why don't we take a look at this guy here? He's got a lot of things going on. That this white here, and then our skulls we want to bring out. We've got the leather brown, which we can start pulling detail from certain areas. The green on him, well, I was kind of looking at this War Boss green, okay, and just taking a little bit of it, and let's see how this works on here. And all I want to do, whoops, I just want to take a little on this brush here. Look. Now you guys were talking about, oh gee, I don't know, put too much, too little, too much. Well, here we go, folks. Here we go. This is a perfect example of what we want to do here. We're going to work on the skin a little bit because we can go over everything else. Again, this is a thing where we want to take as much possible off. Now, I don't know if this is the color I want to use, but I'm going to find out really, really quick. All right. And how I do that is the best way I always try to figure things out is right over the knuckles. Okay, is when I take my paint and kind of go over his knuckles and his hands, and if I feel that that's light enough, I'll go with it. I don't like that as much. So let's go to a Skarsnik green. All right, I'm going to try a little bit of that and see how that works, because all I want to do is just a very, very, oops, sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I just want to get a little bit, and I just want to highlight and pull out a little bit of that detail. Now this is a little bit more like the color I want. All right, and I got it in there, and I didn't even try cleaning the brush. I'm not even worried about that. Right now we're just trying to figure out where we want to go and how we want to get there. Like I said, if you're unsure about something, don't be afraid to... Is there too much on there? See if I can come over the edges here and just barely get it, then I've done it. Alright, so let's see how this does. That's a little... See how much brighter that is? See how his hand kind of starts to pop there? Now I just want to take... And I just want to work it in there a little bit. And I want to hit the high points. That's all I want to do. Over his face here. Very, very easily. As you see, I'm not pressing hard. I'm letting the brush do all the work underneath his chin. You see what we're getting there now? See how his face starts to pop out a little bit? Alright, let's see if we can pull that up there a little bit. See how I'm getting that form in there? That's all I'm doing. Look, now you can compare the two sides. You can see his one hand on this side and then you can see his arm and over here and how it starts to come together and how that works. And it's just the littlest of things, you know? It's just the littlest of things coming right over by his knees. Now his stomach here. Now he has some detail on his stomach, and all I want to do is just pull that out. That's all. That's all it takes. Just taking a little bit of that brush and really working there. I believe that's a glove there. Oh no, no, no. No, we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. That's his fingers and his hand. Alright, yeah, because they miscolored it, not me. Alright, so we're going to take a little bit more of that scar skin green. I kind of like that. Kind of like it. Kind of works for me. Alright, and we're going to see it on the next figure, how it works. Alright, there we go. And it's just taking that paint off as much as we can. Listen, I'm not a pro painter. Alright, and there are some fantastic painters out there. There sure are. But boy, I really enjoy doing this. I just enjoy putting my own spin. It's how I see my world. And I put it in there. Look at that. Look how he's got these runes on him. I'm pulling that detail out. Alright. You see what I'm doing here? And then his hand here. Well, I'll create his hand because they did not. Alright. There's some kind of crystal ball in there. And we'll take care of that. We'll take care of that. And right into that crook there. And you see what I'm talking about? See how dull he was, and now all of a sudden we brought him back into life? Now compare that to this. I mean, which would you rather have? Oh. I mean, which one works for you? That's up to you. Paul Mills, how are you? Just starting to think about painting some of my minis. Love your encouraging manner and tone. Thanks, brother. Well, you're welcome, Paul. Thank you. All right, so we're going to put this dude over here. All right, let's come back to this guy here. All right, remember how dark he was, too. See? And you can see how this all kind of pulls out a bit together. What time do we got? 4:35. All right, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're doing orc skin right now. That's nice. That's how you do it. All right. And this is another thing. Remember what I said. Very lightly. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And then his face here. I really want to make that shine. So I'm just going nice and easy over. Nice and easy. There we go. And then his fist here. And then his leg. You see how we can pull out that detail from his leg? It's right there for us if we want it. It is right there for us if we want it. Boom, boom. He's got a little bit going on back here. We're just taking this brush and we're just lightly going over. Letting the brush do the work. And it's there. The detail's there. You're pulling it out of this model. And that's all we're trying to accomplish. As you get that area and you start to see the result, you could push harder. You're just going to see different things, and it's just going to stand out to you. And you see how that whole guy just starts to just sit up there. All right, we want to pull that knee out. There we go. That's all we're looking for. That's all we're looking for. Thanks for the heads up on that. Will do. Some intimidating first starting out painting. Yeah, well, you know something? Don't be intimidated. Pick up a brush. What's the most that you could do? Is make a mistake? It's not going to change anything. Can't be afraid of things in life. Just go out and give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? You can find out, hey, I'm not good at this. But maybe I want to learn. Maybe I want to get better at it. Or maybe you pick up a brush and you go, well, you know something? This really isn't for me. That's okay too. That's okay too. Now, let me see if I got another brush like that in here. Out of these 10 million brushes I have. The tome of brushes. That's what we call this. Oh, there we go. Boom. Just like that. Just like that. And these are just, look, these are fine touch brushes that you can get at Hobby Lobby. They're cheap. All right. I go through them like they're butter. There we go. All right, so I want to take some of this leather brown, see if we can do something with this here. All right. And we're just going to go over some things here. I'm going to shake this out a little bit. Or maybe I can go Monster Brown, which is just a little bit lighter. I think that'll be a little more effective. Let's go with that. I'm going to go with the Monster Brown. There we go. And there we go. Just put a little in my little thing there. And because we're dry brushing, you know, we don't have to worry about water or anything like that. I'll come over here. Yeah, you see, this just might do it. This might be what I'm looking for. I just want to get some in there. And I keep on building a little area here. Whoa, okay, get in camera, kid. All right. Remember what I said? Turn it over, and yeah, see, that's an orc shoulder. Okay, that's a little bit there. Got a little bit there. This here is just a very simple thing, nice and easy, because we just want to lighten up that breastplate there and all his stuff. See that? See how that start? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look how that just sits up there. He's got his little helmet on. And then we want to come in here a little bit. There we go. Come over that. Those leg armor that he's got. That's all. That's all we're trying to do. Boom, boom, boom. We can do this here. Alright. And let's get a little bit more on that brush. Really kind of working in there. And just nice and easy. Look, that's all I'm doing. Just tickling it. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. All I want to do is just pull as much as that detail I can outwards. Outwards, nice and easy. Just a nice beginner way to do things. Get my day started correctly. See how that makes a big difference? You go back to the beginning of the video when you saw this guy and you went, wow, that guy's a little different. Now this guy, this is the guy that you're really going to see it on. Okay? Okay, because number one, we want to just lightly go over this staff a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit. And then some of these high spots here. We really want to pull some of this detail out. And just keep loading up that brush. You'll feel comfortable with it. You will. Trust me. Now I rebased this guy with those micro art bases. See how he's sitting on these micro art bases? I like those things. They're really just, it's just another option that you can make, you can do. You can cut them off these little bases, and then you could just do some really cool things. Look how, by just taking and dry brush over this, how much this just kind of sits up. Alright, let's go in here a little bit. Oh, for crying out loud, dogs. Quiet. They were quiet all afternoon. You know what it is? UPS guys here. Must be dropping something off. They don't like him. He actually comes up to the door and throws things at the door. Figure that one out. Yep. It's a UPS guy. I can hear it from here. The guy's terrified. And I tried to tell the guy, they're really nice dogs. Yeah. Gotta go. Because I actually tried to get it so they don't bark at him. At least him. Everybody else, let them do whatever they gotta do. That's what they do. They guard this home. All right, and we're just nice and easy. You know, this is a nice, relaxing thing where you don't have to put a lot of pressure here, and you're gonna get exactly what you're looking for here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. And I want that little headpiece there. There we go. Shoulder blade. Big difference, huh? Big difference. Big difference from this. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, not bad. I mean, if you're going to play a game, hey, not bad. But all it does is take a little bit to get it to look like that. Not much. Not much. Not much there. We did it right here. We did it right here. Together. All right. Next thing I want to do is we've got some metallics here. Now the paladin we're gonna worry about next week because I really want to show you guys a couple things with him. But you can see that we darkened him up nicely, and see how his cloak and everything. But don't worry, I got a plan for that. We're gonna save that for next week. But what I really want to do is I want to try to finish our boys up here. Uh-oh, that didn't sound good. Oh, wow, that just dried right up. Sometimes these dry paints, they just dry right up. Alright, that one's dead. Alright, so you know what? We won't use a dry. We will use a Runefang steel. Now this is a lighter version. I probably had that for like 2 years. Maybe even longer. Old Faithful is gone. I'm just going to take a little bit of this Runefang steel. And I'm going to do the same thing like I did with everything else here. I'm just going to take a little bit of it off. Now if you remember, I really kind of did a number here. And all I want to do is just, I want the metallics to really stand out. See? I don't have to take all that wash out, but I just want, when you see a sword coming, you really want it to really kind of stand out there. What else does he have that's metallic? I think that's about it. Well, if we wanted to, we can kind of play around here. Make up our own stuff. Yeah, there we go. We'll make that plate metallic. How's that? Let's make this one here too. Kind of like that. And don't be afraid to change things. If you see something and go, oh, well, you know, I'd rather do this. Rather do this. Sometimes it works that way. Do you have anything there? No? Okay. Did anybody else have anything here? Well, this is a perfect opportunity to kind of just show you what you can do by just very lightly See how lightly I'm going over this? I'm just tickling this. And by doing that, there's some nice detail in there. That by doing this, and I really want you to see this. If I move my stupid fat hand. Okay, watch his knee here. Watch how that just kind of jumps out. But now the difference in his armor, if you remember, it was just very, very, it was very bland. See how that sword starts to come out? Now, we have some of that 3D depth. Watch here. All right, watch his arm here. Watch how it just kind of starts to come out. And it starts to pop out there. That's what we're looking for. See how that just sits up now? Now it looks like he has depth on his legs. And that's what we want. That's all we want. That's all we're looking for. We'll finish him, though. We will finish him. The next thing I want to do that really stands out here is I want to bring out that hold on here. All right, there we go. He's got some skulls on here, so I really want to just make those shine a little bit, so we can do that. We can do that very quickly. Now, this stuff is great because it's kind of rubbery. See how it's rubbery? And you're just going to get a bunch of it on there. And then you are just going to take... See how it's kind of chunky there? That's all right. You just work it into... There we go. All right, there we go. And all you're trying to do is just work that into there a little bit. There we go. Now, there's two things that you can do with this, okay? First of all, we're going to come back just over these skulls a little bit. And we want these skulls to just kind of take a life of their own. I mean, that's a perfect. And then, always got to check the camera, make sure I'm on it. It's one of the hardest things when you're painting, to make sure that you stay on camera. All right, and then over here around his tusks. All it is just a little bit on the side here for him. I noticed that he had that skull there. Boom. And you can actually take this dry and just, this is where you're going to start working on some of these wings here. All right. All you want to do, this is where you start bringing these wings back. I'm only going to do one part of the wing here. Hold on. Let me get a little on here, because I just want you guys to see this. I want you to have confidence that you can do this, and that is the best thing in the world. It's just having the confidence to try it, because I think you can do it. Anybody can do this. Heck, if I can do it, I'm nobody special. Godzilla lover, my favorite person in the whole world. How are you? I hope you are well. I think of you often. Every time I put on my Godzilla hat or my Godzilla cool ass t-shirt from G Fan. And all the other cool stuff I got. That I actually have some Godzillas hanging over there. Okay, so let me just keep going here. Alright, so again. I just don't want to do too much here, okay? I just want to graze this and work this slowly and slowly, so it just sits in there. Alright. And you can see how that the wings start to come back. You can add color if you wanted to, but he's an angel. Angels don't have color. And you can see the difference You can see the difference between the two wings and how they work. See what I'm talking about? It starts to bring depth. That's what we're talking about. Depth. Depth causes reality. There you go. Very quickly, I think we can do this. If what time do we got? 52. Yeah, we could do this. We could do this. We could finish this up. All right. There's 2 guys left that we want to really hit here. I'm going to push these guys off to the side. And these guys. Listen, at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be on Board Game Geek TV on YouTube. Make sure, if you guys want to see some more painting, we are going to be painting Judge Dredd. Yes. From the new Administrative Gray. From the new. See, this is a perfect color because it's just what I want. From the new Wildlands collection. If you played Wildlands, then you know how great that game is and how much fun it is. But they did a version in geez, I'm drawing a complete blank here because that's what I do. I draw blanks. Judge Dredd for Wildlands. It's the same game with the same rules, a couple of little different nuances, but it actually is fantastic because it can cross over with the other game, which I'm absolutely fascinated in. So I'm going to get that all painted up, and we are going to give it a go. All right, so I got this gray. If you are a stone giant, you got to look like a stone giant. That dude doesn't look like a stone giant. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to take some of this and actually use this on my warg here. All right. And we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So very lightly, this is going to gauge how much I have on here. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Remember, we put the wash on here to kind of just get in the recesses. Now, by just ever so lightly, just tickling this guy. Just little bits. Now all of a sudden, all that wash that we put in, it really sits and really shows the detail that this model actually has. All right? Now this, you pulled out of a box. You pulled it out of a box and you went, oh, well, yeah, I got a warg. Oh, hey, well, I got a blue duck. Yeah, you know, it was that kind of thing. But now all of a sudden you paint this guy and you go, hey, I got a warg out of that box. And actually, he's pretty cool looking. And there's some detail in these models. There really are. Look at that. Sun Tzu. Hey Rob, great channel. More Cloudspire. Well, you got it. Hi everyone. Sliding in at the end. Of course. But there's more. There's more to come. There's more to come. Go over, check out. Look at that. Look at the detail that's there. Look at it. Look what's there. Oh, it's exciting to find it. You're looking and you're looking and you're looking, and then all of a sudden there it is. It just comes out. There we go. Huh? All of a sudden that warg looks cool. He's a warg. And Sun Tzu, thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means when somebody says we have a good or decent channel. We do try. We try our hardest. Helen constantly working. Alright, now our stone giant. Remember how much we darkened him up. So how do we bring him and get him a little more stony? Well, we do the same thing. Alright, we do the same thing. We let that wash really stand in there. And then we find out where's all the detail on this guy. Well, it's there. All we have to do is just pull it out. That's all. Just pull it out. And just Oh, hey. Now all of a sudden he has a stone feel to him, doesn't he? It looks a little stonish. Yeah, there you go. Alright. And all it takes is just... Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Woomph. Woomph. You know? And that's all it takes. Now, this brush here, I have to... I'm actually grinding it a little bit more. Maybe because that was the end of the bottle. And, let me see if I can pull a little bit more here. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's all we're looking for. That's all we were looking for. Alright. Dungeons and Dragons. If you're going to play it, and you want to get immersed into the fantasy of the world, why not have some really good things that look like it, right? Oops. There we go. Why does that keep blurring on me? Oh, it's because of my thumb. Alright, so there you go. There you have it. We took care of a bunch of things. We really got some things in here that really are we brought a lot of things out. We still have some things to work on that you want to see. Oh, by the way, let's see how that cloak dried up. Now we would build out. We would build outwards. But you can see the difference in the orcs. You know, instead of just having them kind of... now all of a sudden they have some depth. Alright. It doesn't take much. It didn't take much. I sat here and I talked to you and I was just mowing these things like there was no tomorrow. Whew. There you go. There you go. I mean, it don't take much. It doesn't take a lot of work. It's a very simple formula. It's something anybody can do. Like I said, 6 o'clock. What time is it now? It's 5 o'clock now. I got to cook some steaks real quick and put them in the microwave for the queen, so when she arrives that she can eat like the queen that she is. And then I'm going to be setting up everything here for our next stream, which is going to be on Board Game Geek. So I got to do some conversion stuff and things like that because I got to go over to that channel. A lot of neat little things that we can do. You saw how we were just having some fun and we turned this angel and we pulled out, you know, here's a guy that, you know, he's got some abs there and you couldn't tell because the way it was just painted, because it's just all base coats and stuff like that. Just a little bit of work, boom, you're off and running. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something from it. This is part 1 of probably 10 parts. We're going to take and we're going to work on a whole bunch of these Dungeons and Dragon figures, and we're just going to have some fun with it. We're going to get them ready because we're going to do some role playing. Yes, we are. Here on the channel. The Mighty Rob will take you there. That's for doggone sure. Listen, all I can tell you, smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Be a part of the movement. The movement of we don't give to what anybody thinks. This is just a channel for you, for myself, and to have some fun each and every day. So, for Helen, who did so much work, for Godzilla, our other admin who popped in and did so much work, for Tim, who is here, for all of you that decided to pop in and just say, hey, I appreciate you. Love you very much. Remember, tomorrows are never guaranteed. Be nice to someone. It's going to make them feel good, and it's going to make you feel good. And I'll tell you a story later on that had nothing to do with what I just said. But the most important thing is, hey, I love you all. And until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying, we'll see you soon. At 6 o'clock, actually, on Board Game Geek TV. Painting Judge Dredd. Okay, Helen, I'm hanging on. I'm holding on, Helen. holding on, Helen. Okay, now I'm stopping.